Patrik Laine and the Columbus Blue Jackets are going to work out a trade. He's asked for a fresh start. Where do you think he'd fit best, guys?
I didn't see anyone suggest this yesterday, and I'm glad I saved it for the show. I want Patrik Laine and the Carolina Hurricanes to shut up and kiss. It does
make a lot of sense, doesn't it?
It's been hinted at for years. You would essentially be reuniting that Team Finland team from 2016 World Juniors or something, with the exception of Mikko Rantanen. Go ahead and go ask the Blues if they want to give up Kasperi Kapanen too. Screw it, why not? Just get the whole band back together. And as long as we're talking about reuniting him with the biggest Finnish contingent in the league, Dallas. Also,
I thought Boston
for Patrik Laine,
because they have a really structured system, and they probably could use a little bit more goal scoring. And this guy's, you forget, Patrik Laine's 26.
He's young.
And he's making 8.7. I think Columbus fans are not going to like this, but I'm not sure that you can get away with this trade without retaining. You're going to have to retain on this.
That's a tough trade to navigate. I think he needs to go to a team that can support him. He was in too big of a role in Columbus. Mm-hmm. You got to be in a team that can shelter him a little bit, and then he graduates into a bigger role. And the teams who can do that are the teams who are already good, and the teams who are already good usually don't have cap space. So once again, that points to retaining. There's probably going to be a gap on the Hurricanes roster once they get rid of Nakis,
who we're getting to, guys.
Naked?
Yeah.
Martin Naked.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, I'm sure.
Yep, absolutely. That's most of what hockey players do. Is get dressed and undressed. It's what they spend half their life doing. Carolina.
Interesting, because and Jesse, what do you think, by the way, on fit for Patrik Laine?
You always wonder what you're paying for, when you're trading for a player who's unhappy and hasn't performed well, but it was on a bad team. And you look at how much of a mess Columbus has been the last few years, and
he might score 8. He might score 45.
Right. And the 45 goal Patrik Laine was only seen in his first 3 seasons with Winnipeg, and that Columbus gets him and you're like, oh, he could be that guy. And then he was never that guy. So the next team he goes to, you wonder what you're getting with Patrik Laine and what the price is going to be to pay for. What are you paying for? Are you paying for the prospect that he could be the guy he was in Winnipeg in his early years? Or are you paying for a downed asset that hasn't played well on a bad team?
Let me offer a trade. Let me offer pieces to build a trade around. Underperforming Finn on a big money contract. Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Could he start his career anew in Columbus?
Oh, I wouldn't want
you get
him.
You get the younger player. Well, no, you're not rebuilding around him. He's the younger player. He fits Columbus's window a little better. Mm-hmm. It takes care of a problem for Carolina. And maybe if you're Columbus, you don't have to retain if that's what the trade is. It might be better to get him. Mm-hmm. How much time is left on Laine's deal?
2 years, $8.7 million.
And you're retaining, and Columbus isn't in the habit of paying guys to not play or coach for them, or at least don't like it.
I don't want Kotkaniemi if I'm Columbus.
Yeah, why would you want him? Just so you can be more mid?
Kotkaniemi was bad these playoffs.
Yeah, but it's not
dude had 1 point.
You're not getting a player with a crazy recent track record in Patrik Laine either.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's fair.
So that's why I think it's a framework.
The great thing for Columbus is that they don't have to worry about the playoffs. If you're what are you worried about?
Yeah,
get there.
Kotkaniemi has no track record.
Yeah,
he's never really had a.
Hey, he iced the Leafs in Game 6. How dare you?
Yeah.
God.
He scored 1 goal against the Leafs.
I really do.
I don't think that's a track record.
I hate that damn team.
He's never really had a really standout regular season. It's an interesting proposal, young talent for younger talent.
I think I'm just looking at Laine. Playing lots of games has been a struggle.
Mm-hmm. He played 18 games this year?
18. He had 6 goals and 9 points, half a point a game. But the 2 years prior on the Blue Jackets, He had 22 goals and 52 points in 55 games, and then 26 goals and 56 points in 56 games. You're getting roughly a point a game player there. Like recently, like there's reason to believe he can still be that. That's a pretty good player.
Yep.
That's a pretty good player. I think there's a framework there.
How does the player assistance program section that Patrik Laine is in, how does that work? Is he just coming out of it this summer and then he's just going to be
That's correct.
play next year?
I
don't know.
He also had a minor shoulder cleanup surgery, apparently. Expectation is he'll be ready to go for next season. That's what the Athletic article says.
Okay.
So
by that'll all be cleared by the time next season fires up. Okay.
Yeah. And I think, Columbus is where good talent goes to die right now. And I know Blue Jackets fans don't like me saying that, but show me I'm wrong. And I think
they know
they need to
You're
look
not
at
get a lot of pushback.
They need to Don Waddell. By the way, Don Waddell going there and then trading with Carolina as his first trading partner would be interesting.
Well, I mean, he moved heaven and earth to get Kotkaniemi, so he obviously likes the player.
Well, maybe not now.
Someone in the organization did.
Somebody did. I don't know. Never got that deal. Never understood that. But I look at this and I think, okay, what does Columbus want to be? Do you want to try to be good this year, or do you want to try to be good in a couple years? You're already bad, but at least if you start to look at moving guys like Laine and maybe a Johnny Gaudreau, you at least can sell some hope with some young players.
You're just bailing.
Oh, you bail. You bail on this team.
Wow.
Nah, you need some.
You have some. You got a high draft pick. You've got Johnson. You got Juracek. You've got a whole bunch of other guys coming up.
You need some experience.
Oh, you've got Boone Jenner, all-star Boone Jenner.
Stop. No.
Okay, fine. Get Kotkaniemi.
I need some external experience.
Let Johnny Gaudreau go. If you love him, let him go.
Free
him from this cage.
I need some good NHL veterans who have an experience outside of this dungeon.